breakfast in bed. So Pisces, some of you guys might be doing that for somebody else, because I saw a platter when I felt the energy behind your cards for this week, and then also the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups literally is holding a cup and giving it to somebody, right? And I saw like a serving platter, and it had a cupcake on it. So I just think it's about you guys doing things for one other person. There's a specific person that you guys are catering to. And it could be vice versa, where somebody else is catering to you. Now here's the reason. Four of Wands. It's kind of just the way this person behaves when they're in this dynamic, when they're in this relationship. Let me give you an example. It's, let's say, your boyfriend-girlfriend. Well, let's say the boyfriend is very traditional, and it's just what he normally does, is he does breakfast in bed for his significant other. I mean, it must be nice, but that's just what this person does. It's what they've been kind of grew up with. It's what they've been taught to do, and it's kind of just the way they think. Knight of Swords. Now, they would do this for anybody who was in the same position. Anybody who was their boyfriend, girlfriend, they would act this way. They would cater to, because it's the way that they are. Three of Wands is, they would do it for anybody. Four of Wands is the relationship. And then the Knight of Wands is that mental programming. It's just how they think. This is basically how they think. Now, the other thing that I saw that is the kind of the bad part to this is I saw muck, like mud, and it was like bubbling. So I don't know if this is like free of charge. I'm not sure that this comes for free. There could be a hidden fee that comes with doing all these things, like an expectation. You know, like I have a saying, and I always say, generosity is not generosity. When it comes with an expectation, when you expect anything in return, that's control. And I'm not seeing cards for control, but the bubbling muck, I mean, maybe there is something shadowy about the reason why this person always acts this way. On the bottom, we have the King of Cups. So it's like there could be resentment building, even though, you know, you may not have asked for this behavior. They may not have, you know, felt like they just feel obligated, and then they're gonna resent you, even though it's just what they do. Like, you never asked for it, you never wanted it, you never demanded it. They do it just because it's what they do, and yet there is still resentment building for it. So that's the problem, is this person sets themselves up to resent other people by always doing more and catering to them, doing whatever they want, waiting on them hand and foot, and then is resentful because they didn't get maybe the same treatment back, but no one asked for that treatment, and no one expected to have to do that back to you, right? This would be distorted to have to expect everybody to do this. This isn't normal. Let me put it this way. This is not normal. So the fact that there's resentment is coming from a shadowy place, a place of muck, because this person expects, there's a muckiness behind the gesture, okay? Let's pull oracle cards and see if we can find out more. Oh, and then I almost forgot, the last thing that I saw when I was feeling the energy behind the cards was like a hinge, like a mechanism. It was like a metal hinge, but the feeling behind it was a mechanism, like cause and effect. Like, this person does this out of habit, and then out of cause and effect, out of habit, they are resentful to the other person because they didn't act in this abnormal way back, okay? This just seems very strange. But like I said, let's pull oracle cards and find out more. Tell me more about Pisces, please. And remember, this could be you or the person who you're dealing with. It could go vice versa, so keep that in mind. Okay, got something. Wow. So we got two cards, the treasure chest and the cup. The cup is about gratitude, and the treasure chest is about monetization. So like, there's a sense of monetization of gratitude, right? Like, I did this thing for you, and that goes into my treasure chest of things I did for you. Now, where is the reciprocation? Where is the things that you're gonna do for me? There's a sense that somebody is counting all the favors that they do, but that's not how favors work. That's not how generosity works. Generosity comes from a place of, you do it because you want to, not because you expect anything back, or because there is an expectation, like, of reciprocity. That's what true generosity is. Let's see what the next couple cards are. And the other thing too is, some of the favors could be financial too, with the treasure chest here. Some of the favors, some of this waiting hand and foot, could have money attached to it, right? And then that person feels resentful because they chose to spend that money on this other person. And maybe they got a thank you, but they didn't get exactly the equal value back. And then there's the King of Wands, the resentment, feeling kind of grumpy about it. And then looking at the cards on the board, we've got Mars, the ship, and the hourglass. There is a sense with the ship and the hourglass of when is this coming back to me? Like, when am I getting paid back, right? But not paid back. When am I going to get the same gesture back? Because it's Mars. So if you waited on somebody hand and foot, if you brought them breakfast in bed, there is a sense that you are putting that, you're filing that. It's getting put in the filing cabinet. Like, I did this for you 10 times. Now, I am going to wait, and it might take forever, but it's getting put in the filing cabinet. When will I see this returned in the same way? Well, maybe never. Maybe the person who you're dealing with is not normally inclined to do that stuff. And you'll be waiting for the rest of your life because it's a crazy expectation. Most people are not going to be waiting on somebody else hand and foot no matter what the relationship scenario is, right? So the expectation here, it seems like a recipe for resentment. That's what this looks like. It's a recipe for resentment. Oh dear, let's pull some advice and see what you guys can do about this or what you guys should be doing about this. Any advice here for Pisces? Any advice for Pisces, please? Okay. So the advice is kind of interesting. It's saying the Empress with the Three of Swords reversed. Don't put yourself in a position, in the line of fire. Don't put yourself in a position where if this other person doesn't reciprocate, you'll be disappointed and you'll feel resentment. So don't put yourself in a position to be hurt, Three of Swords reversed, to feel pain. But it's really because you put yourself in that position, the Empress. The Empress is, you are standing in the middle of the street, in the middle of the crossroads in heavy traffic. That's where you're standing. So the advice is don't put yourself in the line of fire, which in this case is saying don't do things that are going to require that there's reciprocation in order for you not to feel resentment. Does that make sense? Don't do things for somebody else where it's not pure generosity, because there's an expectation, and then you'll be resentful if that expectation isn't being met. Don't even do that anymore if that's your angle. Okay? On the bottom is the Eight of Wands. That's like impulsiveness. That's like when you want to like throw a surprise party for somebody. Eight of Wands. And judgment. Definitely surprise party vibes with judgment here. But it's like, and again, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is charming someone. Judgment is doing something loud and sudden with the Eight of Wands. That's the sort of thing you guys like to do. Just don't expect anyone else to do that in return. That's your personality. Your personality is your personality, and people don't do that. This is just not normal. So when you do this sort of things for somebody else, don't expect it to be normal for somebody else to reciprocate in this way. That's just your thing. You like to do surprises for people. It's just, and if that's what you need out of a partner, then maybe you're not with the right person, because you got to look for that person who's like this. This is not normal. This is specific to your personality. All right, let's see what we get out of the Oracle cards. Any other advice here for Pisces, please? Any other advice? Okay, yeah, this is just repeating everything I literally just said. Aquarius. Aquarius is weird and unusual. And that's the way you guys are acting. You guys are weird and unusual. You just haven't realized it. So this behavior is weird and unusual. So don't expect it returns. That's what Aquarius with the chair here is saying. And then we've got Honey. This is, you love this person. And again, it's unusual. Left turn arrow. The left turn is something that is not the norm. It's not the straight road ahead. This is, you express your love and your affection for this person, for other people, in an unusual way. You are unusual. You gotta hammer that into your skull, because you can't expect other people to act the way you do. You are unusual. You are special and strange and weird in a good way, because you like to do cool things for people, but it's just never gonna happen coming in your direction, because other people are not like this. Yeah, and the other thing too is the bridge. You guys you guys seize opportunities that other people don't. So it's kind of like if you know someone loves something, you will hunt out that something and get it. You're like the perfect gift giver. You're like the perfect party thrower, like surprise party thrower, because you find out, you seize opportunities, that's the bridge, and you do unusual things for people to please them. Like I said, the breakfast in bed. The only bad part is that you end up building resentment because you expect the same in return, and it'll never happen. It'll just never happen. All right, so Pisces, that's going to be a reading. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos, and follow the channel if you're on TikTok, and check out Patreon if you want to support my work and see some more videos. And with that, I will see you guys next time.